The Premier League is the highest level of the English Football League system. Contested by 20 clubs, it operates on a system of promotion and relegation with the English Football League EFL. Seasons typically run from August to May, with each team playing 38 matches, 2 against each other team, 1 home and 1 away. Most games are played on Saturday and Sunday afternoons, with occasional weekday evening fixtures. The competition was founded as the FOG Premier League on February 28, 1992 following the decision of First Division top-tier league from 1888 until 1992 clubs to break away from the English Football League. However, teams may still be relegated to and promoted from the EFL Championship. The Premier League takes advantage of a £5 billion television rights deal, with Sky and BT Group securing the domestic rights to broadcast 128 and 32 games, respectively. This deal will rise to £6.7 billion for the 4 seasons from 2025 to 2029. The league is projected to earn $7.2 billion in overseas TV rights. From 2022 to 2025, the Premier League is a corporation managed by a chief executive, with member clubs acting as shareholders. Clubs were apportioned central payment revenues of £2.4 billion in 2016-17, with a further £343 million in solidarity payments to EFL clubs. The Premier League is the most watched sports league in the world, broadcast in 212 territories to 643 million homes, with a potential TV audience of 4.7 billion people. For the 2018-19 season, the average Premier League match attendance was at 38,181, second to the German Bundesliga's 43,500, while aggregated attendance across all matches was the highest of any association football league at 14,508,981, and most stadium occupancies are near capacity. As of 2023, the Premier League is ranked first in the UEFA coefficient rankings based on performances in European competitions over the past 5 seasons, ahead of Spain's La Liga. The English top flight has produced the second highest number of European Cup/UEFA Champions League titles, with a record 6 English clubs having won 15 European Championships in total. 51 clubs have competed in the Premier League since its inception in 1992, 49 from England and 2 from Wales. 7 of them have won the title: Manchester United 13, Manchester City 7, Chelsea 5, Arsenal 3, Blackburn Rovers 1, Leicester City 1 and Liverpool 1. The 2 Manchester clubs hold the distinction of having won 3 titles in a row, while 6 clubs have avoided relegation: Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool, Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. Despite significant European success in the 1970s and early 1980s, the late 1980s marked the low point for English football. Stadiums were deteriorating and supporters endured poor facilities, hooliganism was rife, and English clubs had been banned from European competition for 5 years following the Hazel Stadium disaster in 1985. The Football League First Division, the top level of English football since 1888, was behind leagues such as Italy's Serie A and Spain's La Liga in attendances and revenues, and several top English players had moved abroad. By the turn of the 1990s, the downward trend was starting to reverse. At the 1990 FIFA World Cup, England reached the semi-finals. UEFA, European football's governing body, lifted the 5-year ban on English clubs playing in European competitions in 1990, resulting in Manchester United lifting the Cup Winners' Cup in 1991. The Taylor Report on Stadium Safety Standards, which proposed expensive upgrades to create all-seater stadiums in the aftermath of the Hillsborough disaster, was published in January 1990. During the 1980s, major English clubs had begun to transform into business ventures, applying commercial principles to club administration to maximize revenue. Martin Edwards of Manchester United, Irving Scholar of Tottenham Hotspur, and David Dein of Arsenal were among the leaders in this transformation. The commercial imperative led to the top clubs seeking to increase their power and revenue. The clubs in Division 1 threatened to break away from the Football League, and in doing so, they managed to increase their voting power and gain a more favorable financial arrangement, taking a 50% share of all television and sponsorship income in 1986. They demanded that television companies should pay more for their coverage of football matches, and revenue from television grew in importance. The Football League received £6.3 million for a two-year agreement in 1986, but by 1988, in a deal agreed with ITV, the price rose to £44 million over 4 years, with the leading clubs taking 75% of the cash. According to Scholar, who was involved in the negotiations of television deals, each of the first division clubs received only around £25,000 per year from television rights before 1986. This increased to around £50,000 in the 1986 negotiation, then to £600,000 in 1988. The 1988 negotiations were conducted under the threat of 10 clubs leaving to form a Super League, but they were eventually persuaded to stay, with the top clubs taking the lion's share of the deal. The negotiations also convinced the bigger clubs that in order to receive enough votes, they needed to take the whole of First Division with them instead of a smaller Super League. By the beginning of the 1990s, the big clubs again considered breaking away, especially now that they had to fund the cost of stadium upgrade as proposed by the Taylor Report. In 1990, the managing director of London Weekend Television LWD, Greg Dyke, met with the representatives of the Big Five football clubs in England: Manchester United, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur, Everton and Arsenal over a dinner. The meeting was to pave the way for a break away from the Football League. Dyke believed that it would be more lucrative for LWD if only the larger clubs in the country were featured on national television, and wanted to establish whether the clubs would be interested in a larger share of television rights money. The 5 clubs agreed with the suggestion and decided to press ahead with it. However, the league would have no credibility without the backing of the Football Association, and so David Dein of Arsenal held talks to see whether the FOG were receptive to the idea. The FOG did not have an amicable relationship with the Football League at the time and considered it as a way to weaken the Football League's position. The FOG released a report in June 1991, Blueprint for the Future of Football, that supported the plan for the Premier League, with the FOG as the ultimate authority that would oversee the breakaway league. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like the video.